Hi everyone, I'm Farheen and I'm here in Victoria, British Columbia, the unceded territory of the Lekwungen speaking peoples. I'm sharing a video with you today about some recent works that I've done and new work that is emerging from that. And the audio clips that run throughout the video are from conversations that I've had with friends that share my process. Thanks, and I hope you're well. When world events are happening, how can I not be moved by them, and how do they not come into my practice? Reading about George Floyd, brutalized in that way, I also think about the places where violence, systemic violence, plays out in the intimate spaces of my home. And when I read that he cried out for his mother, I think it immediately touched for me the pain that I have around my own mother, and her body being this refuge. And I think as I have this tender or tenuous moment in my relationship with Aisha, like I feel like my mother more. And I had this moment where I was just doing something with my hands, and I didn't see my own hands when I was doing it. It's like I see her and I feel her. I think that's where it feels hard for me, is when I see the disdain or the kind of distance, which is very normal for an adolescent. And I experienced that with my own daughter. I'm put right in that place of that distance with my mom. The latest performance work that I did with the lentil floor work, that is a way for me to uncover and kind of come face to face with the way that patriarchy, racism, colonialism has affected my relationship with my mom, and it just brings me a lot of pain.
What I'm trying to do is I'm opening up this really old and kind of painful way that I saw you. I'm trying to make better. And she's like, now that you're a mom, you understand. You know, I grew up in a world that honors what men do. And so I never wanted to be like you. And in this artwork, I want to do something that shows that I want to put to rest and say goodbye to this old way of knowing you. But this work comes from our time together, and I wouldn't have thought about this work if, you and I, if you didn't cook me dal all the time, and if we didn't, we sat together and we're sifting lentils, she's cooking, we're talking, and I'm interested in all the languages that are happening between our bodies or within our bodies that aren't spoken. One of the ways that I'm trying to understand my own practice and understand myself, I think it's part of the work of decolonizing myself.
How does it course through my veins? How does it live in my memory, in my DNA? And how are these ways of knowing and these kind of forces actually moving through me and being acted out or acted upon me?
I think whether it's from years that I've spent doing dance, but also my meditation practice, I know there's so much held in my body.
This is a reconciliation for me on a very personal level. I want to be in good relationship with the place that I live and the people that I live in community with. I want to be in good relationship with the ancestors of this place, and that means I have a responsibility to learn and listen. That work led me right to my family. But it's like, go home, do your housekeeping. It's like we all turn up in other places with these ravaged home lives, and then we're just kind of spreading the mess everywhere. So I really see being engaged in reconciliatory conversations and been instrumental in really saying, yes, you need to do this housekeeping of your own. It's not just where I am now, but I go back to Haudenosaunee territory, and I went to Niagara, where I grew up, and I had this real sense of like grief around this incredible body that held me, that nourished me. I just up and left. And I don't think I could have had that experience if I hadn't done and try to continue to do the work of making some kind of like good arrival every day on Lekwungen territory where I live.
The work that I'm imagining is like this, like a love letter to my auntie and to the Niagara River and the falls. Looking at the metaphor of the folds of the sari, seeing this group of women as the water and seeing the water in them. I've had in my mind to make this large bar of soap for many years, and I was like, what am I going to do with, like, I was kind of thinking of it as like a social practice project. And then I've been having these fairly challenging conversations with my dad. A lot of my choices have been difficult from my father. How I manifest our culture and how I live it and my family life, and you know, how I dress. At the same time that he has kind of these pains and disappointments, I've been trying to reckon with keeping my heart open with this person who I love and have deep respect for all the kind of pain and suffering that he's gone through, and holding him to account in the kindest way possible, which doesn't necessarily mean verbalizing things, but finding my ground and not colluding to the power structure that exists in the family, and you know, and how to not be a transmitter of ongoing violence. And I think I keep doing this work, and I'm trying to find a symbol or some other ways to talk about this. And so then just the other day I was just vacuuming. So, you know, I'm just doing this really mundane task. So like I write and I think, and I'm doing images, and then I just like, okay, just do the housework or whatever and pay attention to it, and I'm vacuuming. And then I was like, oh, I need to wash my hands with Abu. I think it's important to take care of myself and oneself when things are hard, but then to go back, because if you know, whatever it is, if we don't face the thing, there's no opportunity for transformation. So I think like I'm trying to create this set of rituals, a set of conditions that we move through that transforms into something else.